So both Mount Sinai and Smith Street cemeteries, you know, they're historical cemeteries, and they've gone into disrepair. There's not a lot of funds, not a lot of burials happening, and we don't have perpetual care funds anymore that have been left over from the previous burials.
Well, we have established a group called the Southern Maine Jewish Cemetery Association, and its sole purpose is to operate the cemeteries, one here in South Portland and one in Portland, in a safe and ecologically sound manner, but at the same time something that's pleasing aesthetically, so that people will want to come and visit their families. So why is it important that we do this? Well, the graves, according to Jewish traditions, are holy places. And there's an expression in Judaism in Hebrew called dor ledor, from generation to generation. So we have an obligation to the generations before us to maintain their holy resting places, just as we expect that the generations that will follow us will maintain ours. If for some reason we are not successful in doing that and we run out of money, according to state law, our cemeteries will revert to the city. The city would then operate them, but no longer as a Jewish cemetery. Then it would be a secular cemetery, and the people who were buried there expected to be buried forever in a Jewish cemetery.
So by writing the stones now, we have around 180 that are over, and more fall every year with the water table in a few of the sections. Some, the foundations have failed because they're 100 years old. So we want to repair all of those and write them and bring them back to what they were in the day. And if we don't repair the headstones and write them now, the ones that are leaning will eventually topple, and those tend to break, and we don't want that to happen.
There's one thing I want to emphasize, that there was still a sizable Jewish population in Portland, and almost every Jewish family has some connection to one of these cemeteries. They have a relative who's buried here, or the relative of a friend. And I think it's incumbent upon them to understand how important it is to be able to keep these cemeteries maintained the way they need to be maintained. And everyone thinks someone else will do it. Everyone thinks they'll get the money from someone who's wealthy or from a grant. It doesn't work that way. Everybody needs to do their part.
We're very fortunate to have a wonderful landscaper who works as an independent contractor, and he has purchased equipment to help us do this. So when he goes to start to do a stone, he will remove the base of the stone and then use an excavator to remove the existing foundation if there is one. Then we have to dig out that area and place crushed rock and stone dust and a product called Monugrid, which is a product made out of recycled plastic. And what it does is it allows the water to go up through the plastic cells. So we don't have the heaving with the foundations that we do with concrete. So once the Monugrid is installed and everything is leveled, the landscaping company puts the base of the monument down and then uses a concrete setting compound all around it, along with some lead tape, and places the actual monument on top of the base. It takes about 2.5 to 3 hours to do each one, with 2 men working on it. And We have about 180 that need to be righted right now. That doesn't include the ones that are leaning as well. These cemeteries are important. They are the obligation of the entire community, not just the family members, but the entire Jewish community. And it is important to maintain these historic sites. We need help with volunteers. We need help with donations. And we need to do this now. We can't wait any longer.
One prayer that we say, which I think is said at many, many occasions, happy and sad, it's called the Shehecheyanu. In Hebrew we say, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Shehecheyanu Vekimanu Vehigianu Lazman Hazeh. Praised are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who has sustained us, nurtured us, and allowed us to be able to be here together at this time. And so in that vein, in that same light, we are here together to do a purpose, and that is to maintain these properties. And we give thanks to God for enabling us both the ability and the fact that we are still here so that we can do that.